Orchestra is back.
Our new season of auditions for classical musicians is now available. Performance opportunities for students, young professionals, and seasoned artists.
Perform a concerto with orchestras around the world. We have 4 orchestras this season. Perform with orchestras throughout the US, Czechia, and Egypt. New this season, opportunities for composers to have their orchestral works recorded by the Boulder Symphony Orchestra, mastered and distributed on the world's most known music streaming platforms.
Audition live from the comfort of your own home. Get live evaluations from expert judges and expand your online presence through our international internet broadcasts. Additional award and performance opportunities are also available. Visit our website for full details. Don't miss out on these wonderful opportunities to advance as a musician and perform on a world-renowned stage. We look forward to hearing your performances.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live music programs. Thank you for joining us today. Our channel is dedicated to bringing live performances and events from international artists to audiences around the globe. I'm Anna Uspinskaya, hosting for you from Washington, D.C. Today we're presenting Western New York Chamber Orchestra, led by Glen Cortese, in a concert featuring soloists, winners of the colORCHESTRA auditions. Musicians from around the world were auditioning for this opportunity to be invited as featured soloists to perform with orchestras around the world. This is the first concert culminating of this program, and then in the span of 6 weeks we'll be moving on to Cairo, Egypt, and then to Glen in Czechia, Czech Republic. Orchestras and conductors are joining the colORCHESTRA project to provide the opportunity for musicians to perform with their wonderful ensembles on the world-renowned stages. And as you can see on the screen, these are wonderful conductors and great, beautiful concert halls, wonderful ensembles, which are inviting those musicians who win the auditions. The goal of these auditions is to encourage, to nurture, and to reward musicians who are proactive about sharing their art and developing their careers. Together with all these wonderful organizations, we are creating these opportunities for musicians to discover their unique artistic voice, to take initiative to present themselves on their own artistic terms, and by doing so, to carve their own career paths. We are very grateful to this wonderful collection of organizations, music educators, music presenters, and various companies you see on the screen, which are adding their energy, expertise, and resources to our efforts in order to provide these opportunities. So let's take a very quick look at what was happening just a couple of months ago during the auditions. Those auditions were streamed on every major platform you can see on the screen, and this is Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, every platform imaginable. And in addition to that, we are on 50 plus various channels and other websites and curated platforms for music lovers, music educators, and musicians. The colORCHESTRA auditions are organized by Artist Venture, Sound Espressivo, Progressive Musicians, and Virtual Concert Halls in collaboration with Western New York Chamber Orchestra, Bohuslav Martino Philharmonic, Cairo Opera Orchestra, Boulder Symphony Orchestra, and with the support of many organizations around the world. Artist Venture is focused on providing performance opportunities for musicians in Europe, Asia, and beyond. They are organizing tours in various countries in prestigious concert halls. They also organize master classes, seminars, festivals, and other events where musicians musicians can meet the audience and each other and collaborate. Progressive Musicians is a musicians-driven company, organizer of many competitions for various ages and various stages of development, and concerts at prestigious venues like Carnegie Hall. The Sound Espressivo Global Competition is an online live-streamed competition established by professional musicians. It combines a competitive event with live performance experience on a virtual stage. And finally, Virtual Concert Halls is my company. It's an internet TV broadcaster providing artists with a virtual stage and ability to reach audiences beyond the walls of conventional concert halls. And here's a quick trailer to show you how we started and where we aim to go.
No matter where you are or who you are, music connects us all. We started with a dream, but now we are paving the future. Welcome to the Sound Espressivo Global Competition. Fully virtual, yet bringing musicians closer together than ever before, now on a global scale. True live, inclusivity, diversity, connection, community, an extraordinary array of judges. Get noticed by companies all over the world. Prizes, scholarships, performance opportunities. Apply to be a part of the most exciting congregation of artists like nothing you've ever seen before. We guarantee quality and leave no musician behind. We can't wait to hear you on the virtual stage.
Auditionees in those auditions were seeking guidance and support from the judges through live comments, which judges provided after each performance at the auditions. And I want to extend many thanks to the judges of the colORCHESTRA auditions. Nader Abbasi, conductor, music director of Cairo Opera Orchestra. Georg Sargsyan, conductor, who will be performing and directing the Boguslav Martinu Philharmonic. Devin Patrick Hughes, conductor of the Boulder Symphony Orchestra and Music Academy. Glen Cortese, conductor, music director of Western New York Chamber Orchestra, which concert we are going to be presenting in a few minutes. Lisa Lehman, soprano, executive director of Western New York Chamber Orchestra. Tikrana Tamian, pianist, artist, advocate, and manager. Joanna Moffett, soprano, teacher, and founder of Corp Productions. Andrew Krim, violinist from the Boulder Symphony and Academy and executive director of that orchestra. Nicole Zenz, flutist from Western New York Chamber Orchestra. Jamie Francisco, principal trumpeter of Western New York Chamber Orchestra and a member of American Federation of Musicians. Zorig Bazanyan, violist from Music Hubs in Saudi Arabia. Raymond Fauzi, clarinetist from the Cairo Opera Orchestra. Wonderful judges. Thank you for your great work and support. And now we have a couple of interviews which we recorded yesterday during the rehearsals of the Western New York Chamber Orchestra. And I would like to present the interview which Austin Vitello, bassoonist, the featured soloist of this concert, gave me yesterday. And now my next guest is Austin Vitello, who will be performing with the Western New York Chamber Orchestra, conducted by Glen Cortese, in the concert tomorrow. He just finished his second rehearsal with the orchestra, so he looks and sounds a lot more relaxed than others who are about to go on stage and rehearse. Welcome, Austin. It's a great pleasure to have you for this interview.
It's nice to be here.
And I know you are local, so you're not too far from Fredonia, right?
Yes, I am.
So your family lives around there?
Yes, they all do.
And you're coming also from the musical family. This is very interesting. A lot of musical families, children, don't go into music. Why did you decide to go? Tell us a little bit about your family.
I decided to go into music just because I found at a very young age I had a passion for it. Like when I was younger, my dad would start singing me solfege around like 6, and that's also around when I started playing the piano. I'm not a great pianist, but I still enjoy doing it. And then once I got into around 4th grade-ish, when I was like 9 or 10, I started the bassoon. And I've been doing that for 7 years since, which has been great.
So you only studied bassoon for 7 years?
Yes.
And you are on a world-class stage as a soloist. Is that your first performance with the orchestra?
This is my first ever concerto I've done with an orchestra. I'm ecstatic to do it.
Yeah, this is so exciting, and it's a huge hall, big, tall stage. Does it feel intimidating?
It's not too intimidating, but there are times where I'm like, okay, this is real. This is great to be here. Yeah.
It's really happening. You really
Yeah.
won this big international audition, and you were auditioning alongside professionals from all over the world. I'm really, really your biggest fan. You sounded like phenomenal in that audition.
Thank you.
Was it difficult? Was it scary? How did you feel auditioning?
So the audition obviously was a bit nerve-wracking since I really wanted to do this. But since I was playing this piece, I was practicing hard on it. It's not like I was like, oh, this might not go super well. I was pretty confident in my playing.
And does playing piano help you with your preparation, or does like no difference?
With bassoon, not as much, but it definitely got me off to a good start on the instrument because I already knew how to read music. I knew all the rhythms, so all I really had to learn was how to play, like the fingerings of the bassoon.
And your parents, what instruments do they play?
My dad, he plays trombone and euphonium, and my mom, she did piano when she was younger, but not a huge musician.
Okay, and so your dad is your inspiration for going into music?
Yeah, he's a very large inspiration of mine.
Wonderful. So, and you said your dad is a conductor. What orchestras does he conduct?
So he conducts the Greater Buffalo Youth Orchestra, as well as he conducts the Clarence High School Wind Ensemble.
Are you in those ensembles?
I am. I'm in both.
Oh, wow. Is that, how does it feel to be conducted by your dad?
Well, I've been doing this for a couple of years now, so it's nothing new to me. At first, it was like, okay, this is pretty cool, but at this point, it's just a normal for me, so...
So you take it for granted.
A little bit, yeah.
That's funny. Now, listen, tell us what you want to do with your bassoon and your musicianship going forward.
So with my bassoon and my musicianship, I would love to go into bassoon performance. I'd love to play with a great orchestra someday. And my goal is to go into one of the great conservatories like Curtis Juilliard and study there and get my master's eventually, probably. That's what my basic plans are right now.
Wonderful. So you want to join one of the leading orchestras eventually?
Yes.
You will.
Thank
You're
you.
so good, and you're so courageous. You're so ahead of your age, and you're confident. You're a fabulous musician.
Thank you.
Okay, well, this was great speaking with you. Is there anything you would like to share with maybe your peers who are watching those programs? Some advice, some suggestion?
First suggestions, I guess, just practice. That's basically it. Use your practice time well. That's all I have to say, really.
You definitely know how to use your practice time well.
Thank you.
Okay, it was great having you, Austin, and I wish you best of luck in the concert tomorrow.
It was great being here. Thank you.
This was an interview in between the rehearsals, and the orchestra is about to get on stage and the concert is about to start. I'd like to invite on the program Steve Robinson, a renowned radio producer and commentator and a 50-year veteran of producing fabulous programs about classical music for radio. Steve, thank you so much for joining us, and looking forward to your commentary.
Oh, thank you, Anna. It's a real pleasure to be here. This is a very, very exciting concert. For those watching at home and don't have the program, we have 7 very wonderful artists that are being playing tonight with the orchestra, the Western New York Chamber Orchestra. And the first one is the fellow you just heard. That would be Austin Vitello. And he'll be performing one of Vivaldi's 7,000 bassoon... No, he wrote 39 bassoon concertos. And I've heard them all, actually, and each one is different. They're wonderful. I love Vivaldi. And then we have music of Mozart and Beethoven in the first half of the program. And then in the second half, music of Shostakovich, Vaughan Williams, Mozart again, and we'll close with music by Camille Saint-Saëns. And each piece will be played by an outstanding artist. And Anna, you were saying how these artists made it to this program. They had to go through an audition.
Yes, I think we need to pivot to the concert hall. They're starting.
Building, please gather in the clock tower in Symphony Circle. You will then be directed when it is safe to re-enter the building. As first responders arrive, please stay clear of the building and roadways. Thank you.
That really applies to us. We're not in the building.
That's right.
I think they're
we're not in
rules
the
of
building.
venue.
That's right, and they'll ask people to turn off their cell phones. But you folks, somebody's coming on stage. Here we go.
Good evening, and welcome to the colORCHESTRA concert. Thank you for joining us today. We are dedicated to bringing live performances and events from international artists delivered to audiences around the globe. I'm James Welch, and I'm the owner of Progressive Musicians. I'm one of many wonderful companies that is producing this event today. The others are Brilliant Talent Discovery Awards out of Singapore, Virtual Concert Halls and Sound Espressivo out of Washington, D.C., and Virtual Concert Halls is actually live streaming this right now as a real broadcast with announcers. So you can go home after this event and watch it again with all the announcements and commentaries, including interviews at Intermission that we did of all the artists. There's a lot to see, so your event is not over when you leave. We're thrilled to be here in Fredonia for our second season of colORCHESTRA with the fabulous Western New York Chamber Orchestra and 7 international artists in an all-concerto concert. And it's been a very exciting couple of evenings listening to these rehearsals, and you're in for a great treat here. Close to 100 people auditioned live online for colORCHESTRA this season, and we were able to bring 7 of the fabulous artists here today. Later in the season, we're going to be with the Cairo Opera Orchestra in Egypt, and also with the Bohuslav Martinu Philharmonic in Glen, Czechia, where we will also be doing an album recording for the Cicciarone label in Italy. So you have to look for that sometime after summer. An album of all concerti will be out, including a bunch of new works for orchestra and new works for string quartet. It's going to be really exciting. We have a lot going on, and yeah, we can't wait to bring it out there for you all. So if you're in New York next week, check us out at Carnegie Hall on April 1st and April 4th. We have 2 of our laureate galas, which will feature ensembles from Boston, Washington, D.C., the Leonard Quartet from Washington, D.C., as well as many of our selected laureates who auditioned, and the New York Chamber Players in an all-concerto portion at Carnegie Hall. And that's April 1st and April 4th, so check us out if you're down there. It's going to be 2 glorious evenings. So a couple things here. We have so many supporters, and we're very blessed that way. And we have the support of Rockefeller Arts Center and Eric Hadley. Thank you for them, and the Winneco board, especially Lisa Lehman, Brent Weber, and Maestro Glen Cortese, and also other financial and scholarship support from Joanna Moffat at Core Productions in Chicago. And it takes a village, and we wouldn't have what we have with all the support of many companies, artists, and individuals. So thank you. Give them a big round of applause for So now, sit back, relax, and enjoy colORCHESTRA, the Western New York Chamber Orchestra.
That's always so fun to anticipate the beginning of the concert when the orchestra is tuning. That's one of my favorite moments.
That's right, and in a moment the conductor will come on stage, and here he is with our soloist. That is Austin Vitello, and the conductor is Maestro Glen Cortese for this Vivaldi bassoon concerto, the concerto in E minor.
Nice applause. So there was Austin Vitello, bassoonist, performing the Vivaldi Concerto in E minor. It's a beautiful concerto. I never heard it before. I know, Steve, you're an expert at, with all the Vivaldi repertoire. You know it more than anyone else.
Yeah, that was a beautiful performance. He's a wonderful musician, and he is still in high school, Anna?
Yeah. He's still finishing the high school, yeah.
And next up will be, and by the way, that was the Western New York Chamber Orchestra, conducted by Glen Cortese. Next up is Molly Shei, the violinist. She just turned 10 years old, and she'll be playing the first movement of the Concerto No. 4 in D major by Mozart. And she is a remarkable young kid, if I can call her a kid. She is a member already of the Vanderbilt Philharmonia Orchestra. Her brother is a pianist. She plays with him, and she loves playing chamber music. She was second place in the American Protégé Music Competition, and so she has a remarkable career. And as I say, she just turned 10 years old a few weeks ago, and pretty soon she'll be on stage. Here she comes, Molly Shei with Glen Cortese and the Western New York Chamber Orchestra, Concerto No. 4 in D major by Mozart. This is the first movement.
That's a deserved kind of applause. What a phenomenal young prodigy.
Well, that was amazing. That was Molly Shei playing the violin. She's from Texas. She's just turned 10 years old. It really it brings tears to your eyes when you see this. Now, our next soloist is Alexis Dai. She's 11 years old, so she's a lot older than Molly, like 1 year. And she won a prize at the 2020 Tucson Music Teachers Association Ensemble event. And she has already won many first prizes here and there, and we don't have time to read her whole bio because we're getting ready for this performance. Now, this is going to be the first movement of the Concerto Number 2 in B-flat major by Beethoven. He actually wrote this one first. It was published second. It's the Opus 19, and she'll be out on stage in just a minute. This is Alexis Dai, and she has She won first prize honors in the Bay Area Piano Competition in 2023. She was a laureate at the Carnegie Hall 2023 Gala in New York City. Can't believe that. So I can't wait to hear her perform. There's the piano coming out. How'd they get the piano out there so fast?
They have a good crew on there.
Yeah.
We didn't even blink, and the piano is there already
So
doing the A.
I just read that she, as I just said, she played at the Gala, the Carnegie Hall Gala in 2023, just last year. So I can't wait to hear this young lady. She's 11 years old, and this is the concerto by Beethoven. It must have been written when he was about, 28 or something like that. It's in B flat. And the conductor of our orchestra is Glen Cortese, and this is the Western New York Chamber Orchestra, and you're watching the International Artist Concerto Concert from Fredonia. And here they come. This is Alexis Dai piano, accompanied by a wonderful conductor, Glen Cortese, to perform the second piano concerto by Mozart, the first movement. Here they are.
Adding my standing ovation to this. She's phenomenal.
That was Alexis Dai, piano, performing the first movement of Beethoven's Concerto Number 2 in B-flat major. And that was conducted by Maestro Glen Cortese and his Western New York Chamber Orchestra. And this brings us to the intermission time of this wonderful concert, part of the International Artist Concerto Concert, coming to you live from the State University of New York at Fredonia. And these young musicians are all mind-blowing, Anna. And how did they get this far? What kind of audition process did they have to go through?
That's very rigorous. They need to first apply to the colORCHESTRA auditions, and the colORCHESTRA is growing. We have 4 orchestras participating in the project this season, and looking at many more orchestras joining forces with us for the next season and seasons after. We're talking with orchestras about even 26, 27 concert seasons.
Now,
go ahead.
I was going to. This concert isn't a competition. There's no winner tonight, right? No.
No,
they've all won.
They're all winners, yeah. And besides
they really
auditions, the nature of this project is different from competition. Of course, it's competitive, but musicians are actually auditioning for being placed in the program. And we always have the music director of the orchestra, of each orchestra, as part of the judges panel. And it's not only about being the best in the audition, it's also about building the program which is appealing and compelling for the audience, both in the concert hall and online. So the people who pass the pre-screening audition, which is by video, then are invited to join on the virtual stage the live auditions, and those are very unique because musicians participate in those auditions from their own locations. Sometimes it's their living room, sometimes it's a studio, church, or sometimes even on big stage like at the universities. And then the judges give comments and their feedback, recommendations right after each performance of each auditionee, and then of course the adjudication happens, and the music director of the orchestra and the orchestra board make the final decision.
And here they are. And after intermission, I understand we have some pre-taped interviews coming up, but after intermission, we have 4 more extraordinary soloists. Right after intermission, it'll be Hongbo Chai, who will be playing the first movement of a concerto by Shostakovich, then Elanor Alford, the oboe concerto of Vaughan Williams' first movement, Mia Mandino, soprano, who will be singing an aria from La Clemenza di Tito, and then finally we'll end with the introduction of Rondo Capriccioso of Camille Saint-Saëns, performed by Marcio Candido. So 4 wonderful artists coming up, and we have some interviews I think you've done in advance.
Yes, we did some interviews in between the rehearsals. We were catching the artists as they were coming on stage or coming off stage. And let's see the interview which Molly C gave me at that moment. And now we have Molly C with us, and she is the youngest performer in this fabulous concert of winners of the colORCHESTRA auditions, performing Concerti with the Western New York Chamber Orchestra, conducted by Glen Cortese. Molly, welcome, and thank you for sitting down for the interview with me.
Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
I can see your cheeks are red. Did you already rehearse?
Yes, I did.
It sounds like you did. Is that exciting?
Yes, it's pretty exciting.
Is it difficult? Are you scared of this big stage, big orchestra, and the conductor waving his arms and all that stuff?
I'm not, because I have performed in front of a big crowd a lot.
Do you like it?
I mean, it's fun to cooperate with the orchestra and the conductor.
And do you like to play in front of a lot of people?
I like to share my music, so I guess that's a yes.
That's a yes for sure. And what is it you like most about music?
I like one of them is like sharing my music, because then I can spread like my joy of practicing every day and why I practice to get
And why
better.
do you practice?
Violin is almost like a hobby, or like something I want to do when I grow up. I practice like I can get better, and I can learn with my teacher. It's really fun for me.
Do you always enjoy practicing? Is it always fun, or is it sometimes difficult?
Sometimes it is difficult. Like some techniques, I get frustrated, but I have to take a break and practice after I calm down a bit sometimes.
So you get frustrated with the difficult passages when they don't come out right?
Yeah, that's one.
Uh-huh. And what are your favorite music to play? Do you always play music by other composers, or do you play some of your own?
Well, I do duets with my teachers. I did a sextet with
Wow.
6 people on like a Twinkle with Michael Slayton. It was really fun. I especially like doing chamber music, not just my own pieces, but I did a chamber music session with my brother Colin.
And your brother is older or younger?
He's older than me.
And he's a pianist.
Yes, he has also had his first debut like before last year.
Oh, wonderful. You mean debut as a soloist with the orchestra, just like you?
Yes.
That's fantastic. So your whole family are great musicians who win difficult auditions and then get to be debutants on big stages, huh?
Yeah, my mom and dad always support me. And my brother and his friend supported me to do music when I was really young in Texas.
Oh, so you lived in Texas when you were very young. And
Yes.
where do you want to go next? What do you want to do next? So this is a big achievement. You're going to be performing with a big orchestra on a big stage tomorrow. What is your next dream?
Well, playing with orchestra was my first goal for this year, and I'm super happy that I achieved it. I don't do competitions often. My last competition, I think, was like Progressive Musicians or American Prestige. It was fun, but somehow I like sharing my music, but doing competitions is really competitive for me. But I did attend a competition last year that got postponed, so I guess my next goal would be to complete that competition and get a good outcome out of it.
All right. So competitions are a little bit nerve-wracking, don't you think?
Yeah, it's almost like you think if you lose, you're not good enough, but I think it's just there's always going to be someone that's better than you, so you don't have to worry.
I think the word lose is not quite reflecting the truth of it, because if you can play at your level and compete at your level, you're already a winner, because you already accomplished the most important thing, learning how to play music and how to share it, right? And and besides, if you always win, that's kind of unfair to other people who are also working very hard, don't you think?
Yeah, and if you always win, it's boring. You don't really learn anything.
That's right. Yeah, and you like learning, you like sharing, and so if someone is picked over you in the next 20,000 competitions you're going to be participating in, that's no big deal. You can participate in the next one and win, right?
Yeah.
That's great. Now, as a violinist, what's your dream? Do you dream of becoming a soloist and just perform and perform and perform and perform and perform? Or do you want to do something else as a musician?
I mean, I want to share my music with the world. That's my ultimate goal, not to just win every competition. But I do a few other things too. Like, I perform at a few places for like birthday parties and things like that. I perform. It's fun. I like to do that. But just performing all the time, I feel like I also need to practice all the time too if I want to continue my streak.
And you are on a fabulous streak. You're a fantastic musician, and I'm so looking forward to hearing you tomorrow performing your concerto with this big orchestra on this big stage, and seeing you enjoying and sharing your music with people.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you for taking the interview with me. It was a great pleasure.
You're welcome.
And we'll say goodbye to Molly for now, and we'll see her tomorrow in the concert. Bye now.
Bye.
Well, we did see her in the first part of this program, and she just played so amazingly, and she's so articulate, as you heard in that interview. But her performance in the first half of this concert was just spectacular. She's just turned 10 years old a few days ago, really. I think it's at April 3rd, and so it's a delightful interview on her, really wonderful.
Yeah, she's so cute and so sharing and beautiful, warm kid, and her cheeks are so, I can't stop looking at her cheeks. She's just so
Yes,
booming,
it's amazing
booming
to
joy.
try to think what she'll be doing in 4 or 5 years, playing Sibelius and Tchaikovsky and the whole bit.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. Let's see if we have time for another interview. Maybe we just show in half of it, and then we'll show the rest of it after the concert. And now we have with me Elanor Alford, a wonderful oboist who performed in the colORCHESTRA auditions and was selected as the featured soloist for Western New York Chamber Orchestra, conducted by Glen Cortese. And I believe, Elanor, you just rehearsed with the orchestra, or just about to go rehearsing?
I'm just about to. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm catching you at a very nerve-wracking moment. I'm sorry.
No worries, no worries.
You sound so confident, and that's how you sounded in the auditions. You were just absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
Confident and totally in control, and very, very expressive. It was a beautiful audition.
Thank you
I'm very
so
much
much
looking forward to that performance with the orchestra.
Thank you.
Now, Elanor, I understand that you will be attending the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland in the fall.
Yes.
What brought you there?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, the first reason why I'm attending is I am, as well as being American, I'm also British. So I have more options in terms of choosing, universities. And the one that I enjoyed, or the one that I was looking forward to, was in Scotland. Mm-hmm. And I love the teachers there. They're so inspiring, and all of the many opportunities to work with nearby professional orchestras in Glasgow and in the Greater of Scotland. It was just an amazing opportunity that I could not pass up.
Glasgow is a beautiful city and so cultured, so full of music. I've been there and I absolutely loved the scene and the atmosphere. So I was just wondering if that played a role in your choice of the school, because you could probably go any school, just go with your eyes closed, point at the globe and go anywhere. You're so fabulous.
Thank you. Yeah, no, definitely the city had something to do with it. I think the city is really, anytime when choosing universities, looking at the city is really important. One of the reasons why I chose the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland is that it is right in the middle of the city. And so it is the opera house is next door, and the different theaters are just very close by. So it was just right in the middle of the city, right in the middle of everything. So
you want to be right there in the midst of all the happenings. I get
all the music happenings, yes.
I get that sense about you. You're one of those unique musicians. You have your own podcast. Now tell me something about that.
Yeah, so my podcast is called the Confident Musicianing Podcast.
Let's go slowly.
Yes.
The Confident Musicianing.
Yes.
Podcast.
Yes.
That's an interesting choice of word.
Yes. It's not a real word, but I'm making it a real word. Basically, it's musician and then ing at the end, so it's a verb. And it is all about auditioning strategies and practicing strategies from a peer's perspective. So I have just finished high school. I'm currently taking a year, and then I will be studying music at university, and so it comes from a peer's perspective, and it's so exciting and so much fun to record and send out in the world, and I've had amazing responses from people who listen to it. So it is absolute joy to create and kind of help or give people, I guess, some cool strategies and tips. So.
And you are an authority on that, because I can tell you the colORCHESTRA auditions were tough. And you won it. You wooed the panel of judges and the conductors. So you know something about successful auditioning.
Thank you. I try when in my episodes to really kind of have it be like have me be like a peer, like a, I guess, more of a friend. And it is definitely an inclusive, exciting, collaborative space in the podcast. But yeah, it's so much fun.
Amazing. And here it comes. We're starting the second half of the concert with the Hongbo Chai performing the Shostakovich Concerto No. 1 on a piano with Glen Cortese conducting Western New York Chamber Orchestra.
And that was Hongbo Chai, piano, performing the first movement of the Dmitri Shostakovich Concerto No. 1, Opus 35, for piano, and quite a little trumpet solo there too in that composition. Again, Hongbo Chai, who is an amazing young artist. He's 23. He's already an adjunct professor of music at NYU in New York. And next up is a beautiful oboist. Her name is Elanor Alford, and she'll be performing the first movement of the concerto by Ralph Vaughan Williams. It's the Concerto for Oboe in A minor. And she, too, has quite an amazing background. She studies with Max Blair, who is associate principal oboist at the Pittsburgh Symphony. She plays in the Pittsburgh Youth Symphony Orchestra, and she'll be attending the Royal Conservatory in Scotland in the fall of 2024. So she's a wonderful young artist, and she'll be coming out in a moment to join Glen Cortese and the Western New York Chamber Orchestra in this first movement of the Concerto Noble in A minor by Ralph Vaughan Williams, marked Allegro Moderato. And you're watching the International Artist Concerto Concert live from the State University of New York at Fredonia. And here they come. This is Elanor Alford oboe, joined by Glen Cortese for a performance of the first movement of this concerto by Ralph Vaughan Williams. And that was Elanor Alford on oboe, and she was performing the first movement there of the Concerto for Oboe in A minor by Ralph Vaughan Williams. A wonderful young artist she is. She's from Pittsburgh, and she studies with Max Blair, who is the Associate Principal Oboist of the Pittsburgh Symphony, and she's also in the Pittsburgh Youth Symphony Orchestra. And you're listening to a live concert from the State University of New York at Fredonia, the orchestra conducted by Maestro Glen Cortese. And coming up next is an aria from a Mozart opera, and it is La Clemenza di Tito, and the opera, the aria de Se Pincer Mi Voix, and the soloist is from Greece. Her name is Mia Mandino, and Mia Mandino has all these artists have remarkable backgrounds. She is a competition winner. She has received all kinds of awards and scholarships. And what's amazing to me, she has her own YouTube channel. It's called L'Opéra et ses Oeufs, which I won't bother translating because I can't. But she has 25,000 subscribers to it. She's won an award for it from she also has a bachelor's degree at the Conservatory in Amsterdam, and I think she studies also right here at the State University of New York at Fredonia. So her name is Mia, let's get the name right, Mia Mandino, and she'll be performing a Mozart opera. And here she comes. Here she comes with Maestro Glen Cortese and the Western New York Chamber Orchestra. This is the aria If You Wish to Please Me by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. This is Mia Mandino, soprano.
This
And that was a performance of an aria from the Mozart opera La Clemenza di Tito, If You Wish to Please Me, and that was very pleasing. That was Mia Mandino, incorrectly identified as being from Greece. She's actually from France, but she's also studying right here at the State University of New York at Fredonia, where this broadcast concert is coming from. The conductor is Glen Cortese, and it's the Western New York Chamber Orchestra. One more performance to go. And this is by a wonderful violinist who will be performing the Capriccio, the introduction of Rondo Capriccioso by Camille Saint-Saëns, and the soloist is Marcio Candido, is a wonderful Brazilian instrumentalist, and he's a doctor, actually. It's doctor to you, Dr. Marcio Candido. He got his doctorate at Boston University, my alma mater. I didn't get a doctorate there. I barely escaped, but I got out. And he received his Doctor of Musical Arts degree there. He's performed at Carnegie Hall. He's performed all over South America. He's performed right here I'm in Boston at the New England Repertory Orchestra and all kinds of other places. And he'll be performing this introduction of Rondo Capriccioso, certainly a very wonderful piece by Camille Saint-Saëns. And in just a moment, he'll be coming on stage with Maestro Glen Cortese. And we're very fortunate to be hearing the Western New York Chamber Orchestra. Here they come. This is Marcio Candido, violin, followed by our conductor, Maestro Glen Cortese, the Western New York Chamber Orchestra, music of Camille Saint-Saëns, the introduction of Rondo Capriccioso. Here they go.
Yay, standing ovation. What a warm reception.
That was Marcio Candido, violin, from Brazil, who received his PhD from Boston University. And that was the introduction of Rondo Capriccioso, Opus 28 of Camille Saint-Saëns, and that was Glen Cortese conducting the Western New York Chamber Orchestra right here at the State University of New York at Fredonia. And now that brings to an end this wonderful concert from the International Artist Concerto Competition concert. We heard 7 artists tonight, and each one was fantastic. So I congratulate you for all the work you've done in bringing these artists to the concert stage, the virtual stage. And this was the culmination of a long series of auditions held around the world by people who were able to come on the virtual concert hall stage.
Yes, and we're very, very grateful to the orchestras and the conductors who participate in the colORCHESTRA project, and it's growing. We had just one orchestra in the first season last year, and this year it's quadrupled. We have 4 orchestras in different countries, in the United States, in Cairo, in Egypt, and in the Czech Republic, in Zlin of Czechia. So those conductors and those orchestras are opening their venues and their arms and welcoming the winners of the colORCHESTRA auditions, with the conductors, music directors of those orchestras joining the panel of the judges and providing absolutely valuable feedback to every auditionee, and so that everyone who is participating is not a loser or winner. Everyone takes something very valuable out of those auditions. And with that, I would like to also briefly remind everyone, if you or those who have not seen our announcements, what's next in auditioning.
Hey, check this out. I know you have always dreamed of performing in Carnegie Hall. So I think this 2023 to 2024 season at Sound Espressivo will be perfect for you. As a platform, we host live online auditions so you can share your music with the entire world. Then we send you to incredible in-person venues like Carnegie Hall so you can perform solo, as a duo, as an ensemble, and with orchestra. This year we have a total of 4 gala events at Carnegie Hall, as well as 4 different opportunities to perform with orchestras in the US, in the Czech Republic, and even in Egypt. We want to help you fulfill your musical dreams. Go to soundespressivocompetition.com to check out our season and to apply.
Yes, go to all of those websites, soundspecificcompetition.com, colORCHESTRA.com, progressivemusicians.com, and virtualconcerthalls.com, and find out more about the events. Of course, we always invite everyone to sign up to our channel so you get notification when we go live. If you like our programs, let your friends, families, and your community know about this. We hope this is interesting, entertaining, and satisfying kind of programming for you. And the next auditions are coming up May 17th through 21st. And yes, we are on all these platforms. If you don't like YouTube, go to Vimeo. If you don't like Vimeo, go to Twitch, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Alignable, many platforms, and 50 plus channels in all over the world. That's where you can find us, our programs, and all of the information about upcoming auditions. We are extremely grateful for the collaborations which we formed and expanding with companies all around the world. Thank you, our supporters and our partners, for your energy and for bringing all those resources, your expertise and energy to these programs. And of course, this concert at the SUNY Fredonia, we want to thank everyone who put their work, their hands together. Thank you, Western New York Chamber Orchestra musicians. You see on the screen the names of fabulous musicians: first violin, second violins, violas, cellos, basses, woodwinds, and brass, and many thanks to you for performing this concert, for learning your parts, for supporting the soloists. Thank you very much to Western New York Chamber Orchestra staff, board, and administration. All those people, these are not just titles, these are people who put enormous amount of time, effort, love into preparing and running these programs. And very special thanks to Fredonia tech team. These 5 phenomenal young guys from the university, they were running the cameras, the microphones, and making sure we can bring you this fabulous performance in beautiful picture and sound. And I also want to say many thank you to special supporters: Johnny Moffat, Mark Levi, Bernd Göttinger, and John Caruso. Thank you guys for all your hard work and for your love for this programming. And of course, many thank you goes to the Virtual Concert Halls team, the producers of these programs. We are live every day with music and musicians from around the globe, and with bringing these concerts to you. Go to our channels, subscribe. These are our hosts, and me, Anna Uspinskaya, and my wonderful collaborator and colleague Steve Robinson were co-hosting this program. And we also have fabulous Chris Au and James Welch, who are hosting programs for you every day at noon and at 2 p.m. And this is our fantastic team of musicians who are also videographers and producers and broadcast designers, working tirelessly to help our colleagues step on virtual stage and stay on it and deliver their great art and music to everyone around the world. So, and with that, we're going to be saying goodbye to everyone. Steve, thank you so much for your wonderful commentary. And
congratulations.
Yeah. Congratulations to everyone, and see you again soon. Bye now.